Look, man, pretty much, I just want to say that this is Game with the Host, man. But pretty much what I really want to say is that people go through stuff, Everyone goes through stuff. I can't say that I'm not going through stuff myself, even though my life is pretty simple as it is. But look, man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. There's a truth to reality, and it currently lives in one book and is scattered amongst millions of other books. Okay? There's a clear, fine line reality of what we live in life. And we can run through the analysis, we can run through the samples, we can run through the technological space race of trying to find life, trying to find meaning. But look, these things, they surpass human life. So not only would this be bad to waste your life questioning these things, it's almost like you have no other choice but to question these things, because the life you're given is somewhat a bit odd. And I'm not going to say that it's the same for everybody. Some people have the best lives of their life. I'm not going to hate. I mean, this stuff is it's chance 100%. I mean, I'm not going to get in between what other people have and what others don't. I mean, at the end of the day, it is justified. Everything that happens, it all happens for a reason, right? So we can run through the analysis, you can run through the data samples all this time, you could keep analyzing things, but clearly the mystical force that lives beyond, I mean, at this point, the book that's scattered behind all the other books, that millions of other books, the main book is clearly the Bible here. I mean, I can't even say that humanity and reality in itself, they're going to meet each other at some logic point someday where they're going to understand each other. Okay? What the scientists do, what the space exploration and NASA does, that's all it can't even be related to people, man. It just can't. It can't be related to people. The services these people have, it's all directly for them. I mean, it's supposed to appeal these people because they get paid from these things. Everyone else, they have to do their job as it is, or they get to live in the street. Clearly, I don't work a job, so this is my reward. I live in the street. But look, man, we're not going to get into a sob story about who lives where and who does what. The thing here is that you can run through the analysis, you can run through the samples of everything. But at the end of the day, you're going to waste your whole life, not live your whole life. You're going to question these things. And the one thing that will tell you everything about life is the Bible. All types of Bibles. You might as well read the Bibles and understand the Bibles, because it seems like everything else, every other way you look, and it's mystical, it's whimsical, it does not make sense. It goes to infinite amounts. They can calculate the galaxy and tell you how big it is, but it goes to infinite amounts. Longer amounts to travel, longer times to travel, so much years that it's impossible to understand, to believe that the Creator and the evil are not real in themselves. They're real. They got to be real. I mean, at this point, scientists cannot explain why the pyramids are here. They cannot explain why things are in orbit motion. They cannot explain why the moon is only facing one side every single time. I mean, the artificial intelligence paints a clear picture here that all of this, it's infinite. There's so many explanations, so many possibilities that you would have been buried in your grave before you ever reach the solution. That unless you would let artificial intelligence take over these aspects of life, that human is wasting their life away working for the government, working for the companies, doing absolutely fuck all. Okay? Because I can hardly see the dedication these people have to their craft. It's just not there, okay? I started out life as clear cut as it could be, as basic as life could be seen, right? I've been bullied. I've been told whatever they need to tell me. I've been fined with whatever they need to fine me. I've accepted responsibility for my actions. Okay? And that's the reality of the situation, man. The reality of this situation is that the Creator is real, and He controls everything. That because these people have no explanation and no possible explanation to any of it, they cannot tell you what is the history behind these things and how old they really are. You can even entertain that there was no great flood. You can entertain that there was no Big Bang. You can entertain that there was no cataclysm in the form of the whole world filling up with giant lakes and giant skyscraper kind of floods. That even if a civilization really existed back then, it lived for lesser life than human. We've been living for thousands of years now, right? We've been living for thousands of years. These technological beings only lived for a few years, then died out. I mean, their structures were built A1, but that wouldn't make sense. Wouldn't their life be a little bit more significant to build these techs to kind of protect themselves and understand that life is not a game, that they couldn't truly be wiped out because of the power they possess? Like, isn't this a possibility? I'm currently living with insomnia, and these are the things that keep me up, because I wish I could understand this, but clearly there's nothing to understand. The only thing to understand is that God is real, and we should maybe pick up a Bible and read it and care for one another. Because if it weren't for God, the government would not have associated at least their version of God, the God of money, but at least they wouldn't have associated the version of being holy in the first place. So if the God wouldn't have incorporated the Bible of God himself, then maybe we'd be living in a more messed up time. But because some form of the government, even the shadow government, believes that there is a God, is why we live a somewhat quality life, that we can explain things to people and they would understand us. This is not meant to be taken as a joke, but meant to be taken as as an understanding in life that we're not almighty and powerful. Consciousness is leased. It's not owned. You don't get to keep conscious. You don't get to own it. This is something that we use to connect with others, to help them understand something, to teach them something, to make them feel like they don't need other people to make them understand, that they could understand on their own self, their own recognizance. That because of someone like me, I would be able to help other people in any way. I mean, if it's just to be a better person, if it's just to understand someone. Like, my whole life, I guess I've dedicated my craft to help, to assist and aid. But yet, the same people who say they need these kinds of people, they expect me to jump through hoops just to be a part of them. But why should I? Why should I have to do all these things for these people when clearly I wouldn't need to? And for everyone, for that matter, in general. Why should anyone follow these narratives that only push singular agendas for people when all of this is plural? This is all supposed to help everyone. I mean, not just hoard it for themselves. I mean, Mac Miller was a big artist, that he had everything, but yet somehow he let the football fumble and he gave it away to everyone. Like, this is not meant to make anyone feel down or anything like that, but this is just an experience. We can't calculate these things, so the only other explanation is that the Creator, the Jesus Christ, exists, and he works through the power of people and through the power of the Bible to keep telling people these verses so they at least become a member of the church or become a member of the Bible, of their own Bible study, personal. You yourself study the Bible at home. You yourself study the Bible by yourself. You don't need to go to church. You can study it by yourself. You can study it with your family. These people cannot explain these monolithic structures, these dome-like orbs, these structures in other planets, these pictures, these buildings. They cannot explain why they are here, but only speculate. But the one thing we can understand is that God is real and the Creator is here. The Creator works through us, so we can tell you that we've explored every other possibility and it's infinite. There is no ending. That your life that's it. That's your life. Do you want to spend it in the infinite, or do you want to spend it in good health and understand your life? Understand that you should be free and you should not be tied or bounded by anything. That I shouldn't have to work these jobs to just have a quality life. That people can just understand the word that I give, that the word is through God. That God somehow connects with me because every other possibility is explored. We don't need to keep thinking about things to know that there is no ending. It's infinite. It's finite, infinite. Okay? Because it's only one way it goes.